I want to go right now to Pat Fallon, a Republican Texas congressman, sits on the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, it's always great having you. I did want to get your take, sir, on one of your colleagues, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who aims to introduce a bill that would essentially audit aid we give to Ukraine. I don't know if she's extending that to this latest $2 billion tranche the White House is considering. What do you think of that?
Well, Neil, first of all, it's an extreme position to do nothing, but it's also an extreme position to give the Ukrainians a blank check. So we definitely should need transparency and accountability. And in fact, we're having a hearing on the Armed Services Committee on Tuesday to talk about just this and the best ways in which to ensure that the aid that we're giving them is going to the right places.
Do you have any doubt that it is?
No, but Ukraine's not the United States, and it's not a Western democracy either. So we need to make sure, because if any sophisticated weaponry ends up in the wrong hands, then our support for them will dry up, and then they're going to lose the war if Vladimir Putin wins.
If we ease up on that aid, Congressman, the read you hear from a number of generals, retired and otherwise, is that that'll really hurt the war effort for the Ukrainians, and that it will feed into Vladimir Putin's view, I can wear the West out. What do you think of that?
Mm-hmm. No, he's definitely testing the West resolve. There's no doubt about that. From my understanding, it cost the Ukrainians about $1.5 billion to $2 billion a month to stay in the fight. We've provided well over $110 billion. So that's far more in excess of what they need to stave off the Russians. And so it's one of those things where we'd have a lot more support for Joe Biden and his support for the Ukrainians if he had a commitment to secure our southern border.
I do want to address that, but I am curious about another issue that's come up, Congressman, and that is China. And now this meeting that's coming up in a matter of weeks, we're told, could be sooner, between Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, and Vladimir Putin, with growing talk that China is going to start providing weapons to the Russians, and lethal weapons at that. That's a game changer that prolongs this a lot, that maybe feeds into the impatience from some of your fellow members. Where do you think that goes?
If the Chinese do that, and if Xi Jinping commits to that, then we should definitely use our trading as a weapon to them and increase tariffs. They've been probing and prodding and testing the last 4 presidential administrations. President Trump was the only one that stood up to them. They're not a neutral arbiter, which they're trying to, in their recent position paper, try to portray themselves as. They're not talking to the Ukrainians. They're coddling up to Putin and their quote-unquote no limits relationship with him. And they're not even calling this an invasion, which clearly it is. And so they're talking, out of both sides of their mouth.
Got it. We'll watch it closely. Congressman Fallon, thank you for taking the time.
Thanks, Neil. God bless.